Charlie 99 is 1041. Charlie 99 is going 76 up to the burger shot. Charlie 99 is 23 at burger shot. Charlie 99 is 76 and back to Bolingbrook. China 99 is 23 Bolingbroke. Okay, good. Recording. Yep, that's working. All right. Ready to go back over into cell block 5. Same spot as yesterday.
What'd you say?
Same spot as yesterday.
Yes, can you give me a moment?
Yeah.
You?
I'll meet you in there.
Okay. Be there in 5.
Hello.
Hi, Cara. What are you doing awake so early?
I'm not really sure. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
What are you up to?
Just doing prison things. Got a meeting I'm about to step into, and then probably gonna go
Oh,
and...
is Jay gonna be there?
No, no.
Oh, the cowboy hat is staying off. Nessie in there.
I haven't actually looked
Aye.
at Nessie in a while.
Oh, I know for a fact. I have friends looking out for Nessie in there.
Okay. I don't actually,
What
to
type of
be...
meeting is it? Is it boring?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a boring meeting. Not something that's interesting at all. But no, I was just looking through the
Yeah.
directory and I saw that you were around. I was like, this is weird. I usually don't see your name pop
Aye.
up in the directory for like
No, normally I'm
4
no.
hours.
Aye.
Hmm.
No, I'll probably be out and about a little bit, but I'm not sure what I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
I need to save your number.
I'm not gonna be on duty for too long. I got like zero sleep. I'm also very hungover right now, so
Oh no.
yeah,
Alcohol's bad, Tim.
the whiskey really kicked my ass last night.
Alcohol's really bad.
I mean, it has its place.
Does it really though? All you're
Sometimes.
doing is pushing the shit for the next day.
Wait, you're pushing the what?
You motherfucker, are you just staring at the window behind me and no fucking... Oh my god, you creep. Sorry, a local just came up and just stood in front of me, but is actually looking at the window behind me.
Mm.
I'm leaning on that fucking window, mate.
All right,
Crazy.
my meeting's about to start. You take care of
Right,
yourself, okay,
enjoy.
Kara?
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, let's go in. Charlie 99 plus 1 inmate going into cell block 5.
I think I'm tired of the chair. There, at a more even level.
I mean, you are a bit taller than me, so almost even.
Almost. Are you okay?
Yeah,
Did you sleep well?
No, no. And I think I hit the bottle a little too hard last night, and the bottle decided to hit back.
Oh, are you up for a talk today?
Yeah, I think it'll be a bit shorter and probably a little bit more, I guess, maybe upbeat than what we have been. Maybe a little bit different change of pace.
Okay, I can do that.
But, did you come up with an answer yet?
I did. And I promised absolute honesty, so... Yes, I actually do think I'm happy.
In what sense? In a sense that maybe everything is going to be over, or...
I don't think there's a specific reason why. Simply, I feel happy at the moment.
Just at the moment, how about overall?
Yes.
Okay.
You've not seen Twinsta recently.
I have not. I don't really look at social media all that much.
The most recent posts were interesting, to say the least.
Oh, yeah? Do you mind if I look right now?
Go ahead, I insist.
Oh. Okay. Give me one sec.
Of course. I'm sure there's lots of notes you need to take about that.
Yeah, definitely something.
I believe he realized that the death penalty was on board. He doesn't want me to die.
Did you talk with him?
He has texted me once or twice.
I mean, with regards to this one, were you maybe the cause of it, of him putting that up, or?
Of course not.
I'm just curious. Why do you, I mean, especially with someone who is so concerned about pushing everything onto you, you taking responsibility for everything that he did. I'm just curious as to why he would be doing that.
Because I'm supposed to be a long-term art piece to him. And you can't be a long-term art piece if you're dead, can you?
Well, I mean, 23 years so far, that seems pretty long term to me.
I suppose, but on average, it's much shorter than it would normally be. That is my belief. Or, well, it's what he implied.
Because what if he does get caught and he gets put on for the death penalty? Because then he won't be able to do art anymore.
I don't think he intends to get caught, or thinks he can be caught.
Okay. Well, how about your questions for me? I know you
It's
said
just
you
been,
had a couple going through your head yesterday.
yes, it's something I've been mulling over. I've keep coming back to one or two, trying to get a good one that didn't feel like a waste. You know, something. What's your most shameful moment? That's boring.
All right. Well, you know what? Especially because we talked about, the power that I have. I'm going to let you have three instead of just one. That way I can
When
give
you
some
were
of
at war,
that way I can give some of that power over to you.
when you were at war, did you enjoy killing?
That's a hard one. Because taking someone's life, I mean, in the general sense, no. Being able to do my job and protect people that I was with, I would say, yeah. I think most people get a little bit of enjoyment in that sense.
But no joy in the actual act of killing?
Like pulling the trigger and watching a person just kind of drop, never to really kind of stand up again.
Yes.
Hmm. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was just actually being able to sit there and do the job and actually, because with the years and years that you put into training, you never want to just sit back and just be like, oh, nothing's happening. This is awesome. You always want to get in the fight. You always want to be in the fight. And so when you're actually in the fight, you're kind of happy because you actually get to do what you've trained so long to do. And now in that fight, obviously there are going to be times when you are going to be ending someone's life potentially at that time. I don't know if that really answers your question the way that you wanted, but
It does not, but it's an answer nonetheless. And two, I mentioned I don't know what to make of you, and you brought up the thought that do I think you would be a person who would just kill me? So, would you kill me
in what sense? In what scenario?
if I asked you to?
Ooh. You mean like kill you and make it seem like it was just an accident or something happened?
You wish to kill me for rage or anger, or to stop me from existing, make it an accident, make it obvious. It's irrelevant. Would you kill me if I asked you to?
No.
Hmm. Even if you could get away with it without question.
Yes. Yeah. That is not why I do the job that I do. Now, would I ever kill you? Yes. Yes, I would. If it came to it where I was told that I'm going to be, say, part of your execution squad and you're going to be lined up on a wall and shot, I would do it. If there was a time that that circumstances made it where it was going to be needed, then yes, I would. But if it was going to be you just asking me, no, I would not.
Hmm.
And it'd also kind of suck, especially times like right now, because there is actually no cops on duty right now, which
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie is absolutely insane.
I'm sure the criminals of this city are having a field day.
Oh, I'm sure they are, if they know. I'm sure. I'm sure they'll realize. I'm sure there's patterns that a lot of cops have that are usually around at this time, certain areas that they go to. I'm sure if the criminals see that they're not around, there'd potentially be a lot of that, but yeah.
And I guess the final one, the hardest one, the one I'm still unsure I want to ask or know what to ask, I guess would be better. What is your opinion of me?
Hmm. I think that you are someone that has had an extremely troubled life. I think that even if you are 100% guilty of everything that people are accusing you of, I think that you are still a victim. I think that you have been made into what you are. I mean, yes, we all have free will. We all have will of, we can choose our own kind of like how we go about doing things. We all have, you have the choice to kill or not kill. But I think there's a lot of stuff put into the column that would push you in that direction to do those things. And that is obviously going off of the information that you have told me. Because before me and you have met the first time, I knew very little of you. The only thing I knew about you is there was 150 reports done about you, and that you had supposedly killed the most people in this state ever. And that there is a whole bunch of animal kills and, I guess, art pieces done. And that a lot of people hate you. I'm sure that there are a lot of people in this state that if you ask them, that they'd be more than happy to do the deed for you if you really wanted it done. Is that why you made that Twinsta post a couple nights ago?
More than likely. But
Talking
I've decided.
talk
I don't
about the
want just-
criminals in the city who they talk a big game, but when it comes to the thing, they never really do it. Where you're trying to get them to, trying to anger them, to try to get them to come in here and do something.
Of course. But yet none do. Decided. I don't want any run-of-the-mill criminal, gang leader, motor club person to kill me. I've enjoyed our talks, so if anyone kills me, I'm going to make sure it's you.
You're going to make sure.
Yes.
Have you thought about this a lot? I'm guessing in the last 24 hours.
Been thinking about very little else.
Is it just because you enjoy the talks, you enjoy the conversations?
It undeniably plays a very large part. But it's not everything.
How about trying to get away from your brother? Taking something away from him that he wants.
Now that is smart. How clever. I've never thought of that.
Never thought about it. What about when you saw that Twinsta post? And
Sarcasm, dear.
I know. Is there anything that you would like to tell me directly that we haven't talked about already?
You want to keep it lighter today. Oh, there's a chance today will be the last time we get to talk. Trial tomorrow.
No, I don't think today will be the last time. And even if, yes, the trial's tomorrow, but bar something happening to you from the time that you leave prison to come back to prison, you're still going to have plenty of time left to live. Because the trial, they don't execute people right after trials. There'll usually be a sentencing hearing afterwards. And then after the sentencing hearing, which usually takes a week or so, but it depends, especially with the amount of judges that have recused themselves from your case. I think there's only one that's really working on it, so one person having to go over all that evidence may take a while. And then after the sentencing hearing, they could execute you right afterwards, but from what I've heard, they seem to give it a week or so. So I would say, unless something gets forced one way or the other, I would say you have at least 2 weeks. And that also, I guess, depends on what happens with your brother and that twinsta post.
Isn't it? There's so much. Maybe I'm just being overly pessimistic.
Are you going to try to defend yourself at the trial?
I don't know. If they call me to the stand, I'll have no choice, but I don't know if either side intends to do that.
Do you talk to your lawyers much?
No, I've reached out to them almost daily, but I don't remember the last time I've actually got a text in response, so I wonder how much they've ever even gone over the court case. I suspect it's not much.
Especially when one didn't even show up to. What was it again? What was the first thing that they're supposed to show up for that they didn't? Was it
A
deposition?
deposition. Yes. Neither of them showed up for it. So the same people who cut my Achilles tendon got to go on stand, say they saw me torturing a dog, with no one arguing against it.
Were you at the deposition?
No, I wanted to be at both of them, but I was denied both times.
I thought you had the right to face your accusers.
It appears I don't. I'm sure they'll come up with 1,000 excuses. But I think my crimes I'm being accused of are so heinous that they're just going to make any excuse and, well, what am I going to do about it? Threaten to sue them.
I mean, doing that could potentially prolong everything as well. But I mean, not gonna lie, seeing that stuff from this morning, that twinsta post, that could also definitely possibly prolong things as well.
Maybe. I think, though, since they are aware of these posts, I wonder if it will. Because so far nothing has changed, despite multiple of those posts. Or perhaps we're just waiting to bring it up in court and to see how the judges react. Or judge now.
Here's a question, and it's not an accusatory question, it's an honest kind of question because you are obviously a very, very smart person. Did you make that account? Is that you talking, pretending to be your brother?
That would make sense, wouldn't it? But it becomes the problem when you consider the pictures taken outside of the prison.
No, that is true.
He's posted selfies of himself. So no, I assure you, that is not me.
Okay. Now, only because you asked me if I would kill you. If I were to, how would you want it done?
Was war the first time you ever killed somebody?
Yes.
Was it just a shot to the head, blind firing, hitting someone, a grenade? What?
No, it was 3 shots to the center mass.
I'll take that.
Except that would be very hard, especially because there are no guns allowed inside here.
There are guard towers. I've seen them carry their rifles.
That is true. Ooh. Hmm.
Yes, I choose that.
But you see, the only thing that would really kind of go against that is there'd be a need to be a reason for it. Like, how would you be in a position where that would end up happening?
I don't know. Perhaps to stop me from harming someone else. I suppose if I get pushed enough, I can show people how artistic I can be.
How artistic do you think you could be? What do you think you would do?
I am far more artistic and creative and capable than my brother ever could dream of being.
What would you say would be the most artistic thing you could come up with?
Emulating art is a fascinating way to go about it. I think it's, well, like I said, fascinating. Sewing animals and humans together again is intriguing, fascinating. How would I truly want to go about it? This without my limited resources in theory in the prison.
Actually, you know what? Let's change the question. How would you use me as art if you had the chance with the limited resources of this prison?
I believe it wouldn't be too difficult to fashion a shiv from either steel or glass that could give me access to cutting you open. These white fixtures aren't so terribly strong in their phosphorescent lights could come out. If I think about all that,
No, that's very true. Not gonna lie, kind of surprised that they have such shatterable lights inside of a prison. Although who knows, maybe they're made of some sort of hard plastic.
I would cut off your hands. I would cut off your forearm at the elbow. I would cut off the rest of the arm at the shoulder. I would separate them but keep them connected through the longest veins. I would cut off your head carefully if the tools are sharp enough. Move your spine with your head. Drag it up just far enough so your spine is still touching your body. Do the same as to your leg as I did with your arm. Then I think I would cut open your stomach, withdraw all of your intestines, and create a spiral, making you the center of a target. We could call it a shooting range.
Hmm.
The lights, frame it, could add to it. Could be 1,000 reflective parts stuck in your body. But the heart would have to.
Can you say that again? I didn't hear anything after my heart.
Your heart would have to go. I cannot stand the beating of it. I would have to go.
I mean, at this point in my life, I don't think my heart's really there.
Physical one's always there, always beating, and it would have to go. And since, as you say, you have no heart, maybe as a little extra, bury it and say, died with Emily.
Hmm. You know, it's funny that you mentioned Emily. I had a weird thing happen yesterday after we finished our talk. You see, I like to look at the directory from time to time and just see who's around. And when there's people that, that I think are nice or people that I care for, I see them on the directory, I'll usually give them up a call. There was an EMS named Penelope that I've talked with a little bit here and there. Called her up yesterday just to see how she's doing. And she asked me, she's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I just got out of a meeting. I think I'm going to go home, get a bottle of whiskey and then go, pass out. I mean, first thing she asked, I didn't really think much of it. She was like, would you like some company? I was just kind of like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm probably just going to pass out, once I get drunk enough, those kinds of things. But then after a little bit of back and forth of talking, she stopped me and asked, she's like, do you call other people or do you only call me? I'm like, oh no, I call a bunch of people because I still wasn't really clicking into what was being said. And she's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not that special. I'm like, well, maybe you're probably my favorite EMS. And then of course her voice changed a little bit. And then I was sitting there, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm probably going to go. I might go out for a hike later on. And then she asked again, she's like, would you like company when you go on that hike? She's like, if you ever want company, let me know. And yeah, I didn't really think about it too much until afterwards. I was like, and then, get some of those weird feelings of someone that actually potentially has some sort of feelings for you, whether it's just physical, emotional, or whatever it is. And I found the timing of that very interesting, especially after we had talked about Emily yesterday. And that conversation happened pretty much right after we had finished talking.
It's dense as death. I think it's very obvious, even if I can't speak from any experience, that she desires you.
What do you think I should do? If you were to give me advice, what do you think I should do with that?
Do you think you're going to kill her too?
I mean, to be fair, going with full honesty, I think if it was something that would become a thing, I think it would be a possibility. It wouldn't be a choice, but I'm sure that there would be choices that would be made that would have the potential of leading down to that path.
And you're very afraid of that.
Yes.
It's obvious you care about her. So, go for it. Ask her out or whatever it is you do.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe I'll just let it slip by.
You're afraid. Not just of that, but more. Do you think that'd be a betrayal of Emily? Or are you just afraid to try again? Afraid to change? Afraid that she'll see something that you're hiding from her?
I mean, I'm usually pretty upfront with people. I don't really think I'm hiding anything.
Why not?
I don't have an answer for that.
I'm actually envious.
Oh, why is that?
Most people assume asexuality is a very broad thing when someone says it. I'm asexual, not aromantic. I've always had an interest and desire of some sort of more non intimate intimacy. Or friends. Or something. Since I've never really had it. So I'm envious. Jealous. It's something I'm interested in, is all I have to say, really.
I'm sorry you've never got to experience it.
Hmm.
I think that being able to satisfy certain desires, even if they're not intimate, I think is something that I think everyone should be given the opportunity for.
Be nice. So I say this as genuine as I can. Go for it. No double talk, no ulterior motives. Just the truth.
What did you do for entertainment for yourself? Say, whether it's reading, listening to things, watching things.
I went out. Prior to my father taking me hunting, we went hiking a lot. Wilderness. I watched movies, read books, studied a lot.
What are some of your favorite kind of movies?
Liked action ones mostly. Guns and explosions. Very boyish movies.
What about psychological thrillers or psychological horror movies?
They never interested me. Always found them boring.
Oh, you don't like the mind games of it?
No, they never felt real. It's funny, a movie with giant robots shooting at other giant robots always felt more real than a movie about two people talking in a room. One of them may or may not be a criminal.
You know what? I definitely do see your point with that. There is, I think, one pretty decent exception though for a movie like that.
What is that?
Have you ever seen the Cloverfield franchise?
I know of the one with the monster in it.
Yeah, see, I wasn't a big fan of that one, but there's one called 10 Cloverfield Lane. And pretty much what it is it's a psychological thriller because it takes place in this bunker underneath someone's house. There's an older gentleman, big guy, played by John Goodman. Don't know if you've ever heard of him. Fantastic actor. There's a smaller female and a smaller guy. Now, what the big guy says is he saved the girl. He brought her into the bunker. The guy asked to go into the bunker. From what the guy says, some sort of invasion happened. He doesn't know if it's Russians, he doesn't know if it's aliens, but something happened and the air is, chemically like just it's bad up there. Like you go up to the air, you die type thing. Of course, she doesn't believe him at all. And this is all in the trailer. And so, of course, she's sitting there and she's like, no, this guy's just a creep. And he acts like a creep. he acts definitely like he's not all there. But then in part of the trailer, there's all this motion happening upstairs. She takes that cue to smash a bottle over his head, grab his keys, and go running for the door at the top of the stairs of the bunker. She gets up there and she sees this lady banging on the door, and her face is kind of like melting. And right there, she kind of goes like, "Oh my God, maybe he was telling the truth." But the whole movie, you don't know if he's telling the truth or not. And so he's just kind of back and forth because sometimes there's good points and sometimes there's points that go against it. And you're always, the whole movie, you're going like, is he just making this all up? Is he orchestrating this, or is this actually happening? It's actually kind of interesting.
So is he making it up?
Would you like to know?
I've not seen a TV I have access to here, except for the one telling me where the cafeteria is. I don't
Well, I mean,
suspect I'll be able to watch it.
you also have a plethora of phones that I'm sure you have. And I know that, obviously you can get on Twinsta and stuff, so I'm sure that you have some internet. But if you do want to know, he was not lying. But there's a twist. The reason that he saved that girl, that lady, is because before everything happened, when he first made the bunker, he had kidnapped a girl and held her under there. And not sure if he's trying to treat her like the daughter that he lost because his wife took her away to Chicago, or if there's going to be more into it. But that is why he ended up taking her into the bunker with him and the other guy. So there's a whole bunch of little twists and turns in the movie, and I thought it was actually pretty good. But I do see what you mean a lot of the times when two people, say, sitting in a room and playing chess mind games against each other, trying to see if someone is a bad person or not.
There's one thriller that I like that fits that mold. Might be the only one I actually enjoyed.
What was that?
Tell me if you've heard of it. Two people sitting in a room, having a conversation. One law enforcement, one potential criminal. And the law enforcement's hearing stories and wondering how much of it is true. About some alternate person pulling the strings and doing such horrible crimes.
The Usual Suspects.
Yes?
I enjoy that one.
Much weaker on repeat viewings, but I did quite like it.
It's still one that's worth watching a couple times just to kind of pick everything up, kind of like Fight Club. Although from the same time frame, there's a movie with Denzel Washington where he plays a detective. And the pretty much opening part of it is he's putting this guy onto death row. It's a guy that he's been chasing for a long time. It's a serial killer. It's pretty much, there's a film crew with the serial killer trying to trying to capitalize on, all the gruesome things that he did to people. So Denzel Washington's character meets up with him. He even goes and shakes his hand and stuff just before he gets put into the gas chamber. Anyways, criminal gets put into the gas chamber and is executed. A few nights go by, and that detective gets a phone call. The same kinds of phone calls that this serial killer was doing to him before. Exactly the same. Not something that like a copycat would be able to do, but it was exact. It turns into this whole thing where it's a demon that is inside this person that can jump from person to person through touch. So the whole movie is literally this demon fucking with this detective and trying to play mind games with him and trying to break him down. And of course, the detective, what's he going to do? He can't tell anyone because who's going to believe him? That was a good movie.
Are you religious?
No,
Never have been or lost it?
never have been. My mother would force me to go to church all the time, even though she wasn't religious at all. I think she was just trying to pretend so that if she did ever die, that maybe she would be seen as a good church going person. But she wasn't good. She was a narcissist, and she only cared about herself.
No? Are you certain she was a narcissist or?
Oh yes, everything was about her. Doesn't matter what would happen, even if she was in the wrong, and you would call her out on it, and you would say, "Hey, like I need to go away for a bit. Like don't talk to me for a while." She would still come back and be like, "Oh, I forgive you for what you did to me." It's like, "I'm sorry. You're the one that was doing all this, not me." And even after my father had passed, she would go and pretty much just use that to try to sleep with all his friends. And
A narcissist and a whore.
yeah. Would you prefer more, movies or books?
Movies, I preferred. Shorter activities. It's not to say books were not amazing.
Because with movies, you kind of see everything right up front, kind of right there in front of you. While with books, I mean, you got to use your imagination a little bit.
Yes, movie, you know what the monster or the person looks like. With the book, you get descriptions and you have to come up with it yourself. And whatever I can come up with in my mind is more scary than they can put on a screen.
Yeah, I think that's what makes some of the best horror movies is when you don't see the monster right away. You only get a little glimpse, or you see a shadow, or you hear a noise. If you
I
were to
agree.
if you were to be a monster, what kind of monster would you be? I know it's a hypothetical type thing and you're not a big fan, but using your kind of creativity in that, kind of curious.
There are so many monsters. That is a staggeringly large amount of things to think about.
I mean, to be fair, the worst monster out of any movie, TV show, whatever, is actually just humans. I think we do more things to each other than any monster could ever do.
Hmm.
Do you?
Maybe something like a wraith.
Okay. Like something that just comes up and just snatches the life out of people.
Something that is created from intense emotion. Something that will linger long after it died. What?
Is it your brother?
No. Some man has been talking to me. I think he said his name is David Lance.
Oh my fucking god.
He has been trying to make me admit to things, and I think he's upset at me that he thinks I killed Jilly before he could.
Killed who, sorry?
Jilly,
Jilly.
EMS. Apparently he wanted to kill her, so he's angry that he thinks I did it.
Oh. Fuck! God damn it, I can't use
That got
that.
me off topic. I'm a wraith. What are you?
Hmm. Hmm. To answer that, I'm going to talk about a TV show that I'm currently watching. because it's kind of hard to really explain it, but there's a TV show called From. So it's
Never heard of it.
so you got these people who get trapped in pretty much it seems like from what I can tell they get stuck in this little kind of like bubble. It's like a very small town. People that are driving somewhere, doesn't matter what part of the country are, for whatever reason they get picked for this thing. They come up to this tree that's across a road. And then also there's crows that are up above in the trees, just kind of like cawing at them. They turn around to leave, and they automatically start going through this little town. And every time they leave the town, they start driving away. Next thing they know, they're right back inside the town, just driving right back into it. Well, while they're in there, obviously there's a bunch of other people that are in there. And at nighttime, monsters come out. And the way that the things that these monsters do is they eat people. Or they don't really eat them, they rip them apart. Like slowly, they torture them. But they don't only do that, they fuck with the people inside this town. So they have these little rocks that they couldn't put by their front doors that pretty much make it so the monsters can't come in. But what the monsters do is they will go up to a window, they'll tap on the window, be like, hey, don't you just want to come outside? It's so much nicer out here. There was even this one that was flirting with a guy. And of course he knows what she is. But she just keeps talking. She's like, hey, you know what? Let me in. Let's do this. I want to be with you. I want to do this. I want to do that. Blah, blah, blah. And eventually one night, she convinces him to open up the window to let her in. And this is inside of a house that has like a good 40 people inside of it. So he goes, he opens up the window, lets her in. She tells him to close it so that the other monsters can't come in. So he closes it. They start making out. She ends up ripping open his back, rips out his tongue with her teeth, obviously, and then goes and does that. I think that would be the kind of monster that would be something that fucks with people psychologically before that they would do anything physical. Because if you go after people physically, it could be some people like you who just don't feel it, or even or the biggest thing, it ends way too quick. But if you fuck with people psychologically before you do something, that's what it would be. That's what I would do. Maybe you would find a family that was really close-knit together and you take the one that people leaned on the most. Or maybe if that family had a child, go and torture that child psychologically and then possibly just taking that child away from her parents and killing her and making that family suffer.
I was going with a different interpretation of what you were talking about before you explained it.
All right, what was your interpretation?
Me, it made it sound like the monster you want to be is one that gets close by pretending to be someone's friend. Or that wears down someone's walls. The kind of monster who would have long conversations with people in a cell.
Do you think that's a possibility that that's what I'm doing with you? Or maybe are you thinking that that's what you're doing with me?
Have to be one or the other, or one or the other.
Or what if it was both doing it to each other?
I said, it doesn't have to be one. It could be both. But that also implies that either of us are monsters. Are you a monster?
I mean, I guess that depends. I mean, I was the reason that my wife died. Wouldn't you consider that to be monstrous?
Most would argue it was an accident or careless. But how many would actually consider you a monster for that?
Her family.
Undeniably. But how many past that? Would a stranger hearing the story go, oh, how could you do something so horrible?
Especially when it's something that so many people do every single day. They're just lucky that nothing ever happens from it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a different one for you. What kind of hero would you be?
We actually had this talk before. In a sense, I'm not the hero type. You want to die selflessly. No interest or ability to do that. I don't think I'm capable of being a hero. No, 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 no. I take that back. Do you know Watchmen? The comic book or the movie?
I've seen the movie, yes.
I would be the hero like Ozymandias.
Was he the bad guy in the movie? I mean,
From a
he's.
certain point of view.
I mean, he saw himself as a hero.
Yes, necessary evil hero.
Necessary evil.
Maybe I'd be like Rorschach. Instead of beating up or putting the bad people in jail, I would just butcher them.
Oh, I was thinking more about the end of the movie with Rorschach.
Or that. So I take it back. I could see myself being a hero in very specific circumstances, but not many of them. I could never be a Superman or a Spider-Man, that's for sure.
You like those action type movies. I got one for you. And it's actually a Superman type movie. Oh, fuck, what is it called? Brightburn.
I'm going to guess evil Superman movie.
So it follows the same timeline, but instead of it being a full grown Superman, he is still a child.
Mm.
And actually, it is a fantastic movie because, yeah, so you got this child who is, the Superman character, but the pod that he comes to Earth in, starts doing things and he starts getting these visions and stuff. And he starts off small. Like at school, he's being picked on by a group of kids, and this is in the trailer as well, where he's kind of getting pushed around. It's kind of like one of those trust exercises where people where you lean back and people catch you and push you forward so other people can catch you. Well, this girl decided to not catch him and let him fall, and he hit his head. So the teacher yells at her and tells her to help him up. So she reaches out reluctantly, and he crushes her hand. Of course, this is like the start of him realizing that he has these powers and such, and it just gets progressive from there. Some parts of it are a bit graphic, but it's enjoyable.
Are you very big into movies? I'm taking it.
I love movies. I love movies. I love TV shows.
Always?
Yeah, always.
Did Emily?
No, she's more of a book reader.
But did she have a favorite movie?
Oh God, yeah, what was it called? Is the one with Gerald Butler. What was it? P.S. I Love You.
Never heard of it. But it sounds like a romantic comedy.
Uh, yes, but no. He dies pretty much right near the start. He dies of a brain something or other. I can't remember what it was. But it's pretty much him already planning out things because he knew that he was dying. And he plans out these things. Like he has these letters that show up at her house like a week after he dies, a month after he dies. Gets her and her girlfriends to go out on a trip. It's pretty much helping her let go. Yeah, I'm not a really big chick flick fan, but yeah, that was her favorite.
So,
I guess you'd say I'd even watch that on the anniversary of her death.
do you like it?
Honestly, no. I hate it. It's almost like I'm torturing myself.
But you have to do it for her memory, right?
For her memory, and also to remind myself of the fuck up I did and the life I took away from myself and so many others.
How many others? Do you know?
I don't know. Obviously, her family, that was pretty big. Her coworkers. I kind of lost count with the amount of hate mail that I got, or hate text, or hate phone calls. All because I took away their shining light.
I mean, how many people have you killed?
Oh, I don't know. Around roughly 30, I would say. Somewhere in that ballpark. Some of them I don't know if I killed them or if it was someone else, because, sometimes it's not only you shooting at someone.
It's quite the number. Surprising me. I guess you were an excellent shot.
No, just target rich environments. And you were just the one? Just the one that your brother made you kill, or was there others? Ooh.
There might have been another.
Accident or on purpose?
I'm not a monster, so it had to be an accident.
I mean, if we're talking about monsters, sometimes monsters aren't even the ones that kill people. Sometimes they're the ones that put people in positions that end up getting them killed.
Like your commanding officers.
I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Always depends on what side you're looking at it from, too. Not gonna lie, some of them were just incompetent. Don't know if monsters and incompetence could really be put in the same category. Although, I mean, I guess maybe it could be.
That was myself. I had a question for you, and I've simply just forgotten it.
Do you remember the rand or the approximate area of topic that it would be about?
It would be about me. I know that. I think the movies distracted me.
No, movies definitely distract me all the time.
Is this how you want to end your life? Just working as a DOC?
I mean, who knows if I'm going to die as DOC or not? There's always the chance. I mean, I think since February, we've lost 2 inside the prison. So, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. But I also don't think that's going to happen to me. I seem to have a way with people that come in here. I'm more friendly with a lot of gang members, other people that find themselves inside a prison than anything else.
Do have a way with words and with people. I think it's pretty clear our conversation seems to be fizzling out for today.
Yeah,
I do have one more question.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna ask you this tomorrow when we talk as well. I wish I asked it yesterday.
Okay.
Do you think I'm guilty? Has anything changed?
I still don't know. I have absolutely no idea. I mean, obviously got the very loud noise of one side of it. But then also got you and the way that you talk. And of course, the whole thing. I mean, even if you are guilty, I mean, again, it's all about the, sorry, booze is still kind of affecting my brain a bit. Still a little hungover. The nature versus nurture. Because even if people are guilty, I mean, there's nothing I can do. I don't.
Do you want me to be guilty?
Honestly, that depends. If you're going to be executed, then yes, I would want you to be guilty. Because that would mean that it would be, I don't know if it's the right word.
Some form of justice, I'm sure.
Kind of, but now I'm also rethinking about it, especially what I just said with the nature and nurture thing. I'm one of the people that also believes that no one is beyond saving. Everyone has the ability to be saved, no matter what horrible things they have done in their past. Actually, here's one for you. What happens next? When your eyes close for the final time.
I have theories. Personally, don't believe anything. It's a hard concept to process, but I think it's just over. You cease to exist.
Fade to black.
Yes. But there is always a part of me, a tiny part of me that believes that maybe heaven, hell, reincarnation, some sort of afterlife are real. Whatever version, whatever take, or something I've never even heard of. And it terrifies me.
Which part terrifies you? The just fade into black, or the reincarnation, or moving on to something else?
That there is something else after death.
Why does that terrify you?
Answer that after the trial. Don't forget to ask me it again.
I will. And tomorrow, I think we're going to do for our talk is it won't happen at the same time. I think what we'll do is we'll talk before your trial. If that's okay with you.
Sounds fine by me.
Because your trial is at what? 8 p.m. Eastern?
Yes, quite late. And I'll tell you all kinds of secrets I've been keeping.
Before or after the trial?
Before.
Okay. Well, you know what? I definitely look forward to that talk.
Maybe you'll be the only person who ever knows one specific thing about me.
Now that's exciting.
It is, isn't it?
It is. All right. I'm going to go and possibly go text Penelope. You take care of yourself, okay?
Well, I'm quite fine. My Achilles tendon's healed a while ago.
Maybe try to get some sleep as well.
I always try, never succeed.
Before you do go to sleep, I have something
Yes.
for you.
Yes? No.
A little taste of the
Thank you.
outside.
Appreciate that. It has been a while.
Yeah. Just don't let anyone know that I did that.
I won't.
Charlie 99 is going 10 for you too.